There will be spoilers, episode 8, where we will be covering episodes 1, 2, and 3 of season 2 of Game of Thrones. We are your hosts. This is Nicole.
And Armani here.
And we got Mo also.
We back. We need a there will be spoilers intro, like there will be spoilers, something like that.
Season 2, we arrived. The North remembers.
Word.
I feel like the last episode should have been called The North Remembers, because they said The North Remembers in this episode like one time, whereas, Lyanna Mormont chanted that mad times in the season finale of episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There are a couple episodes I would honestly say should be called The North Remembers, just for what it represents. It would make it it would have a better effect to me. Because, if this episode would have, when did Ned die? If that episode would have been called The North Remembers, or the Red Wedding episode would have been called The North Remembers, and then when, Arya did her thing after the Red Wedding, that would have been called The North Remembers.
That I agree with you on that one. That episode when Arya did her thing should absolutely be called The North Remembers.
Yeah, or the
that's payback. It should be called The North Remembers, with James Brown, the big payback playing in the background. The big payback.
So in this episode, it opens up with Joffrey's name day.
And rare dickhead form.
Yeah. He, is about to kill Sir Dantas. We get Sir Dantas, stumbles out all drunk. And, for no reason, he just, wants to... not no reason, because Joffrey is an asshole.
Yeah, because Joffrey's Joffrey.
Yeah, Joffrey being Joffrey. Is about to kill him, and then Sansa interjects with the, you can't do that. Okay, so actually before that, he looks at her when two knights were fighting and killed them, and he was like, "Oh, that was a good blow" or whatever, and she mimicked them or repeated what he said, and he was like, "I said that." And he was like, "What do you think about it?" And she was like, "It was good, Your Grace," or whatever. Like the look on his face when he was looking at her is like he expected her to be excited or happy about. He's looking like he's disappointed that she's not excited.
I feel like he was more disappointed she wasn't upset. That's how I feel about it.
Like he was mad that she wasn't sad.
Yeah, well, we know he's that serial killer that would that kid who'd be killing animals.
Can we get to season 4, episode 1 already, please?
We're almost there, baby steps.
You guys, we talked about this in the early podcast. I know how I feel about them fake fake tough guys anyway.
Yeah.
Fake tough guys, just come on. Because at the end of the day, the kid swears up and down he tough, but he done been smacked more times than anybody in the show.
Oh, that happens in later? I think later on this episode.
Later in the episode, yeah. He done got by a few different people a few different times,
rightfully so. Maybe he needed his ass whooped when he was little. Littler, should I say?
Littler.
Yeah. The Hound steps in, backs her up a little bit. So he's like, "I'll kill him tomorrow." Well, obviously we know he didn't kill Stannis tomorrow.
Yeah. No, yeah, because that's when Sansa had him make him a fool.
Mm-hmm. So my note for that was Sansa's kind of learning what to say when, because that's also when Tyrion returned and, he was talking to her and, gave her his condolences for her dad dying.
Mm-hmm.
And Joffrey was like, "Fuck her dad. He was a traitor." And
Sansa said the same thing.
Yes. But I mean, obviously, self-preservation. The child's self-preservation button is all the way on, as it needs to be at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We know that.
And it's also notable, how dead Sansa looks through this season. Just from the beginning.
I mean, she's being held hostage, essentially. We get the bird, the white raven, get sent to King's Landing, and winter is coming, and it's going to be really long. Bran is watching over Winterfell and essentially serving as Warden of the North. Where I want this Bran back, because in this scene where he was talking and he had a little bit of attitude because he didn't appreciate how they was talking about his brother.
Mm-hmm.
I need that Bran energy back, because the last episode where we see him now, he's mad, just monotone and way.
Oh, you don't want zombie Bran? You don't like zombie Bran?
No, I don't like zombie Bran. I need energy. Don't talk about my brother like that again, Bran.
Right. Yeah, zombie Bran is the worst. Is it bad that I can't, obviously we watch these episodes live when they air. Is it bad that I literally just be wanting to skip through Bran's moments? I know they're important. I know they're probably the most important because he sees all, but it's just zombie Bran is boring.
Yeah, right. He's getting there.
I don't need Ben Stein. I don't need like dry, clear eyes.
Ooh, that is such a good,
He just got the dull stare, like dull face with the stare. Like, come on, Brand.
Bueller.
I can't, man. I can't. It's just say they need to. I need a scene where, just like you said, they injult him with some kind of something, with some kind of energy, with some kind of meaning, instead of him just sounding like he's reading off of a script with two hands on both ends of this piece of paper. Let me say that back. With one hand on the paper and the other finger like following the words. I can't.
That's so bad. Oh yeah, we need more on the brand. We see the red comet, which also leads me to realize that what's her face that's dragging him around?
Osha. Yeah.
Is the smartest person on the show. She was like, no, that means there's dragons. And he was like, nah, silly, there's no more dragons.
Right? Cut to Danny with her baby dragons.
Yes.
Like, literally. It means there's dragons. Nah, there's no dragons. 13 seconds later, walking with dragons. Like, come on, bro. She's super smart.
So the North, like, the wildlings know some shit. Like, they know some things.
I feel like the wildlings, not that they're the most educated, but they're the most realistic out of all of the people south of the wall, I guess.
Most realistic and experienced.
Yeah.
Like, they've been through some shit to know some shit.
Danny's horse dies.
That horse that Drogo gave her for their wedding.
Yeah. The Dothraki walking around the desert looking like raiders from Fallout.
What? See, I don't know nothing about that. You know, we discussed. But this is my thing. All right, this is my question to you. Is it disrespect to live? Because at the end of the day, they was talking about they ran out of food and water, but the horse died. So that seems like a pretty hefty source of meat right there that y'all could have been.
All they ate was horses. That's what I thought.
Didn't they cut the horse? Didn't she say feed the horse to the people or something? Or am I remembering something else?
I rewatched the episode. I don't remember her saying that. She was telling, was it Rhaego or something like that, to go find help. They sent them 3 ways. They ain't said nothing about the horse. They came back and the horse is still dead. They was just sitting there.
I couldn't have been watching something else where they ate a horse. Like, I feel like at some point in Game of Thrones, but we're saying this. Like, I don't remember a horse dying at any other point in this.
Well, didn't she a horse heart for? Thank God I watched the damn behind the scenes of that scene, because she was like, it was some bread something, and it was like sweet jelly and corn syrup that she had to eat. Because looking at that scene, it's just like, hey yo, I'm a little scarred, a little kind of glad you was eating like strawberry jelly and shit, because that kind of threw me off.
That shit was terrible looking.
Right, that shit wasn't the greatest visual.
This is also when we kind of realized that Jorah got her through.
Side note, to go back to what we were saying, when they first came up with the Dothraki, Jorah told her that all they ate was horses, because that's all they had. Like, horses were plentiful in Dothrak.
So maybe they did eat the horse.
They was out there with the crusty lips, with no lip balm.
Oh God, yeah. Because when old girl started crying, then I was like, "Could you stop with all that wailing?" Oh wait, we didn't get to that part yet. But
like, yo, y'all need water and some chapstick, bro.
For real.
They had the Duchess lips going on.
Oh my goodness.
So the Night's Watch reached Caster's Creek. Caster's Creek. He's a fucking creep. So might as well have been called that.
Right, you was right.
Again, back to the whole nasty ass incest stuff on this show. This dude
heavy with it. Real heavy with it. At a certain point, it's just like, all right, my G, shut it down.
Yeah, he's just doing a lot of too much. And that shit was crazy. No sign of Benjen, so they still don't know where Benjen's at this point. The wildlings have all moved north to join Mance Rayder, so we get the first real mention, I guess, of Mance Rayder, the king beyond the wall. And yeah, he's gathering an army, planning to go south. Then we get Stannis with the Red Witch, with Melisandre. The night is dark and full of terrors.
That was another like brand. I could do without you, Stannis and Melisandre. I could do without y'all. I'm tired of hearing about the light and it's dark and full of terrors. Like, I'm over it.
I felt like Stannis had such a big role, but he was also such a background character. Like if you skipped every single scene that Stannis was in, it wouldn't have changed the show that much.
Not missing nothing. You're not missing anything too much. You're absolutely right.
My only even reason for bringing this scene up, and honestly, I'm totally down with skipping the rest of Stannis' shit throughout these podcast episodes because they're fucking useless.
Let's go. That means we can get to season 4, episode 1 quicker.
The one thing that I will notice, like I noted from this episode, where she mentioned a sword of fire will bring light, and it will be called Lightbringer. Now we all just assumed, or they all assumed, or she tried to make it seem like it was Stannis who was, gonna pull that, fire sword out of some shit. But I like to fast forward and talk about how
Banner.
Yup. He had that flaming sword, and I'm just like, okay, that's the one who's gonna bring the light. Like he's bringing the light, and he's with Jon. So
I don't agree. My bets are still on the mountain. I mean, not the mountain. The Hound. I still feel like the Hound is gonna be the one that all the fire stuff is about.
Really?
I feel like it's gonna be him overcoming. Because it's like him being afraid of fire has been such a big part of this show. So I feel like that's gonna be his turning moment. Like every character in this series has had that moment where it's like, yes, you did that. So I feel like that's gonna be the Hound's big moment.
To do what? To be in a moment of need, and what's the name of the guy that from the Brotherhood, his name that does the fire sword?
Benedict Dondarrion.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's gonna die, and then the Hound's gonna have to do it.
I feel like it is. I feel like he's gonna actually die, and they're gonna be like, we have no one else, or not that they don't have anybody else, but the Hound's gonna step in. And he's gonna be like, you know what, I'm do it.
Okay, all right. You know what, I'm with that. I'll get on that train. I approve.
I'm 100% on that train with you. And when that happens, it's gonna be like one of the doper cinematic moments in the show of season 8, because they're gonna have slow mo and like deep violin background playing.
I could just
at this point, if we don't get the Hound wielding a flaming sword, I will feel cheated.
I can already just envision it, that slow mo of him seeing the sword on fire, looking towards it. You see all the destruction. I'm here for it.
Right. Circle back to this moment, and if it don't happen, we're coming for you.
Yeah, we're gonna
have all this hope in our hearts that we're gonna get something fantastic.
So we see Rob and Jamie face to face, and Rob reveals to Jamie that because that was the one other thing. Stannis sent all them letters to everybody about Jamie and Cersei, so that cat's totally up out the bag, and everybody knowing about this rumor now. So Rob lets Jamie know, he's not even the rightful king. He's your bastard. And my dad knew it, and that's why y'all had him killed. So he pretty much unravels breaks it down, and he know the whole backstory. And Jamie thinks he's going to flex on him by calling him a boy and in Grey Wind. This was the only real Grey Wind moment, I realized. This is the only one we see Grey Wind, in his glory.
I feel like that was also them trying to fit the warg thing in. I get that Rob could, or a missed opportunity, should I say.
Another missed opportunity?
Another missed opportunity.
Well, wasn't it, because in the scene, I think in the scene before with Bran, they show a direwolf looking into the water. Was that Grey Wind looking in the water?
I believe.
So was it again Bran was working into one of the other wolves type thing?
See, you mentioned that. I also swear there was a scene from one of the episodes when they were fighting, what's his name? Maine Lannister. No, their dad. Tywin. When they went to go fight Tywin, I could have sworn there was a scene with a wolf running through the woods and grabbing somebody up.
Well, we already know we just ain't never getting that shit. So. Some things we just got to let go of. Satisfied with. So we meet Shay and Tyrion. Tyrion brings her to King's Landing. Cersei has Littlefinger too. So here we also see that, get a little more Peter Baelish backstory. Because I totally didn't realize he had created his own sigil, the Mockingbird or whatever. I'm like, what if? But she asked him to do him a favor, and he tries to bring out the whole, knowledge is power. Also, again, throwing that little rumor up in his face. Well, it ain't a rumor, it's fact. Just throwing up the truth in her face. And then she comes with the no power is power.
Body that boy. The power? No, power is power. Let me check. Let me show you real quick.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite Cersei moments.
Oh, she was in there too.
Yeah.
She was in there. Nah, turn around. Slide to the left. Slide. So she really made the guards do the cha-cha slide.
Yes, she did. And I was here for it. I was like, okay, go ahead, Cersei. Let him know what he's saying.
Everything too.
Then more Robb and Catelyn Stark. You know what? And I forgot at this moment. She wanted to go home. Catelyn wanted to go the fuck home because she said she ain't seen her sons in months. So it was Robb's fault that his mother never seen her sons again. Because she wanted to go home and he was like, nope, you're gonna go and you're gonna talk to Renly. That's pretty.
But to be perfectly honest, her wanting to go home would have accomplished what?
I mean, she would at least just been there with her sons.
No.
She would have been there with her sons oh, my bad.
Right. After everything that happened, they would have got sent for. You think her going home and then Robb just going home with her would have had them just chilling and nobody coming to Winterfell?
Well, I mean, not Robb going home, but she said she was gonna go because she was just like, I'm done with this. I'm going home. I haven't seen your brothers, and whatever. And he's like, yeah, no, you're gonna go, and you're gonna go talk to Renly. And she was like, you could send one of your other men. And he's like, I don't trust nobody else. So
I don't trust nobody.
Yeah, and I feel like she would have been there. If she would have been there, she'd have been able to stop Theon doing Theon's thing.
Going back, rewatching this, because obviously I'm taking the notes for the show, but I'm still like kind of ahead just watching it on a personal rewatch like y'all were doing. Theon deserved everything he got.
He did, but I'm kind of rooting for him, like, to get his shit together and to be okay. Like, I want Theon to be okay. I just want Yara to be okay. Fuck Theon, I guess.
Yeah, I care more about Yara. I don't feel like Theon deserved everything he got. I feel like that was a bit much. Like, okay, we'll talk about it when we get. I was saying, because what Theon did was bad, but it wasn't that bad in retrospect. It led to some stuff. It made it easier for some stuff to happen, but it wasn't that bad.
He murdered 2 children.
Right.
But he didn't murder Brandon Rickon. Okay. You have to look at the time and the place. Time and place. People were just getting killed for like stealing bread off the street. Like, okay, all right, it was bad, but it wasn't that bad. Like, if anything, he did that so that he could prove. Okay, no, he only did that because he wasn't gonna kill Rickon. And
he couldn't find them. That's the reason.
But he had them in the he had them in the castle. He wasn't gonna kill them. He was just like, look, chill here. Stop, like, I'm in power. Just chill here, and that's all you gotta do.
He killed 2 children.
He killed them just to disguise the fact that he lost them.
We justify.
So not only did you take the L, you took 2 L's. You took an L by the kids, and then you took another L by murdering some random kids to make it look like you didn't. You fought them. Yeah,
I mean, yeah. I honestly, I feel like he's gonna die in saving it. It's like he's gonna be one of the bodies that's gonna get caught. He's not surviving this show. I think he's gonna die. And they'll probably make an honorable death to redeem him, but he's gonna die saving Yara. I'm sure. Hopefully, because we don't really need him in the aftermath of all this. No way.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Ooh, that's another one we could do. That's another one because we be getting sidetracked and doing like top 5 lists and all that. Who gonna die? Who gonna live and who gonna die? That's another one we gotta come up with.
Yeah, I got some thoughts about that.
I got some thoughts too.
Okay.
Honestly, we'll get to that, but I think it's only going to be a handful that survive, to be perfectly honest. I don't think it's going to be like people making peace and we're going to leave you alone and yada, yada, yada. I think everybody's going to die. I think it's going to be bloodshed. I think it's going to be murder, death, kill everywhere.
Murder, death, kill.
I hope that's what it is, because I need to see Game of Thrones is really good in deaths. They make the deaths significant. Not like we're not wasting these bodies for no reason. Like, these are significant deaths, which lead to impacts, which lead to this person acting this way, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need all of that to happen to lead into. You saw the post I had on Instagram. They talking about it have made the producers and the people and the writers was like, man, they'd have made 6 movies. What? Don't play me. Don't play me. Don't play my emotions, because I'm trying to go into this last season without super high expectations, even though we already know we're gonna have high expectations. But I'm trying to dumb it down so when April comes, if this shit ain't 6 movies, ooh.
You know, and that 6 movies comments kind of leads me to believe like each episode is going to have a full-fledged
at least 90.
beginning, middle, and ending. Like it's
Right.
going to be, they're going to wrap up some shit in each
Right.
episode.
At least 80 to 90 minutes, and just like you said, there's going to be content and dialogue and scene fillers that's going to have us saying, all right, we done with that. Now address this. And then hopefully next episode will be like, all right, you addressed it, we done with that. Now this. So I need it.
It's going to be so sad.
Don't be like the Sopranos, boy. Don't you have me like the Sopranos, Game of Thrones. If we're going to have some beefs, I'm going to jail. Y'all got 5 on my books. Please tell me y'all got 5 on my books.
You got 5 in your books.
Start a GoFundMe.
Please set a GoFundMe for my bail because I'm going to jail.
No, actually, and in this next scene, oh wait, no, okay, who did that? In this next scene is when we get Joffrey gets slapped by his mom. This again was Cersei realizing that she has no control over this boy whatsoever. From his comments about them talking about them valuing their women too much and just looking at her, and she's just like, "Bitch, what you mean?" Yeah, 0. Yeah. He didn't care. He don't care. And she ain't got no control. He straight up told her, like, you do that again, it's punishable by death. It's the last time you slapped. I was kind of surprised she didn't say something though. Like she should have, like, look, I'm still your mother, or something.
I feel like that's one of those conversations where she knew he didn't care. That's one of the things where it's like you don't even ask the question because you can't deal with the answer.
Right.
I feel like the only person that had any real power over Joffrey was Tywin.
He was that's
Tywin got power over everybody.
Tywin didn't even have to slap him.
rode his horse up to the throne. I think had this had played on longer, I think Tywin would have took out Joffrey and seated Tommen. Like I think shit would have gone on, and Tywin would have been like, all right, this little fucker got to go. Like this is just too much, and he doing too much. He got to go. I think that would have been an inside job eventually, because they wouldn't. There's no way they would have let Joffrey like reign as king until he was older. I think they would have cut that short. Anyway, okay, so and this is where we get because in this conversation too is when he asks his mom about all the bastard children his dad had, and this is when Jaina Slint goes out and starts killing babies.
My thing was, who was documenting all this?
Who just searching the city, murking babies, bro?
Like who documented all of Robert's bastards?
Right.
Well, John Aaron, we're not asking questions. I think they probably just went and killed everybody that John and Ned talked to. They went and killed all their kids.
Right. Yep.
If there was any rumor that Robert was sleeping with that woman, and I mean, but these kids ranged from like few months old.
I'm about to say 6 months to teenagers on the low.
Yeah, Gendry was like what? I'd say he was at least like 17, 18.
Yeah.
I already know how I feel about these age. I'm not good on this show. I think everybody grown.
Well, okay, so you know what? Thinking about that, so Gendry is at least the same age as probably like John is. So that means Robert was out here having babies before he even married Cersei. Because at that point, he was still enthralled by Ned's sister. Well, that was like when they went to go get Ned's sister.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't even married to Cersei. So he had babies that predated his marriage to Cersei, possibly. Episode 2, The Nightlands. We get Arya. We see Arya, and she meets a man, a thirsty man named Jaqen H'ghar.
Homie.
So my thinking was when I watched this, I was like, why is he in there? He could have escaped. He didn't need to be in the back of that wagon. So who was he on the road to kill? Like what was he doing? Why was he there?
True.
There was no need for him to ever been in that position.
I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think about it that way. You are absolutely right. He could have slid like nothing happened.
Mm-hmm. So
right. Like, he didn't have to be in there. He chilling.
I mean, yeah. So that makes me think. But
he had to be on his way to kill somebody. Like there was
somebody on the wall.
He was there.
And there was a hiccup.
Yeah.
I just want to lock me in this car right now. Oh, okay.
I'll take this free ride. I ain't gotta walk.
Cart. You right. Let me say my foot walking. Yeah, I mean, you right, but I feel like he was the type that said, life or life, and so maybe whatever he was on his path to do, this was the right thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's one of those things I guess we'll never know, possibly. But George R. R. Martin need to write a whole book of, okay, so yeah, I forgot to explain this point book, like when he finishes the series. Like, here's why this happened.
No, I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he's done it already. Like, after I read a good, say, chapter of that Game of Thrones history book of just the Targaryens. So it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if he had a whole Jock and Nagar backstory just ready.
That'd be dope. Okay, so Tyrion, we got Tyrion walking around whistling the Rains of Castamere. That's the creepiest shit to be walking around whistling.
What was the words of that song again?
I didn't notice how creepy that song was until that episode where that song actually played a part. That's the first time I ever actually heard it.
You mean the episode called The Rains of Castamere?
Yeah.
AKA The Red Wedding? Yeah. And there's actual words to that song. Like, there's actual lyrics to it. It's a pretty haunting song. Which, I mean, obviously, whoever created that song, they did a good job. It was done right. But I think this is like the first time we really start to hear it. And then I didn't realize like how much it is kind of weaved through the series here and there. It's like dotted here and there up until then that big full episode where we fully get it. Yeah, so he walking around whistling like a serial killer. I think serial killers whistle.
They're the only people that can whistle.
How do you know how serial killers whistle, man?
Serial killers and lumberjacks. Varys. So Shay is just letting people up in the room. Like, I realized he didn't warn her very well ahead of time. Like, you can't be up in here talking to anybody and everybody. Because she let Varys into their room. And she just sitting up in there chit-chatting with him. Obviously giving a fake story about how they met. So she's not totally stupid, but commas. Like,
Nah, he told her. She just didn't care. She just did not listen to him.
Very much. But this is also when I start to appreciate the scenes with Varys and Tyrion. Like,
hold on, with Varys and who?
And Tyrion.
Oh, okay. I thought you said, I don't know why I thought you said Littlefinger.
No, God, no. Though, I mean, those verbal sparring matches were slightly entertaining, but the Tyrion and Varys thing, like, this is
that lets you know they got a real good relationship. Like, they could go back and forth with all this, dick measuring as they call it, but at the end of the day, like, they still be looking out for each other.
Yeah, true. Cersei rips up the letter from the Night's Watch about the needing extra men.
And tell them why they need extra men though.
Because there's fucking the dead are gonna march on the wall, and she's just like,
Hey, they got homies walking up in there, and what does she call them? Grumpkins and
Snarkles.
Snarkles.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that's Harry Potter. I feel like you're weaving them in there together.
Fast forward to season 7 when the Hound kicks that damn
box over in front of her.
Box over, nigga. Yeah, ain't Grumpkins and whatever you want to call them now.
Yeah, and you know what? And Tyrion brings that comment back to her. He's like, "What did you call them?" And he says that back to her again. Then because she's sitting there looking like, "What the fuck?" We learn that Sam is a booty man because he likes to watch girls walk away.
What?
That was my note. Because when they were in Crackers Cheek and they were talking, and old dude was like, "Ain't nothing better than watching a girl walk to you." And he's like, "I like to watch them walk away." He's like, Sam's booty man.
I hope that's what you put in your notes too.
I sure enough did. That was the first line for this scene. Sam's a booty man.
It's a booty man.
Ghost listens to Sam because this is where he meets Gilly, and we see Gilly. There are so many plain ass faced girls in this series. Like,
no. They got a lot of beautiful women in this.
No doubt for sure. But when they okay, so actually I put a period there when I should have put a comma. There are so many women they make look plain ass face. Like, Gilly is one of them, but I've seen her like on the red carpet and outside of this, and she's really pretty, but it's just like, y'all did a good. Should I say that there's probably a nod to her acting ability because she looked mad fucking plain and just like homely, but she's really pretty in real life.
I'd have to see her in real life because I've seen her in another show And she looked exactly like that. She looked exactly like that, and she acted like that too.
Really?
hmm
No.
If y'all want to check out the show Skins, the UK edition,
What is that show about?
a bunch of teenagers. It's kind of like just a bunch of teenagers doing reckless stuff. But
Okay.
no, it's a really good show.
I just looked her up. She's the one picture that they have on her. It's not a bad picture. She's all right. She's got a chipmunk face. It's kind of throwing me off.
Yeah, I guess that's it. But I mean, she's not as homely looking as they make her look.
Because it's clearly a red carpet, and she in a flower jumpsuit. Like, all right.
Definitely probably hippie, but I'd hang out with Jelly in real life. So Danny gets back the horse at least one of the horses. How many shoot out with?
Three
guys? So 3 guys. One of the horse comes back. Was killed by another call. This is when old girl starts screaming unnecessarily, and I was like, if she don't shut the fuck up, all that screaming is not necessary.
True. No, that was Rhaego. That was his name, Rhaego. That came back, whose head was in there.
Rhaego was done.
I know, but she was hollering. Like, I mean, like, she started crying, and then, like, all the wailing after. I was like, oh, God, calm down.
Because his soul could never unite with the Dothraki in the afterlife. Because they cut his head off. They didn't burn him.
So Theon arrives at the Iron Isles. And
every time we say Theon from now on, I'm going to say that old bitch ass nigga.
He looked mighty happy. He get off on the shore, and he's all like, welcome. You know, where's my welcoming committee? I'm like, don't nobody know you coming, and don't nobody care.
Right.
Quick shot back to, actually, I totally skipped over Roz. Roz got a promotion. So before...
Now she the head hoe.
Yes. Before Jada Slint was in there killing babies, she in there giving orientation walkthroughs at the brothel. I was like, go ahead, Roz. Like, she moved up in the world. That I didn't even catch that, like, on the first real watch through. Like, she rode a turnip cart to King's Landing, and now she's like a manager.
She's a manager.
Brothel orientation walkthroughs.
She's the brothel secretary now.
No, she's already secretary. She's like the assistant manager. Little keep
she is Della Reese and Harlem Nights.
Yeah. See, yeah.
I keep all my hoes in check. What?
She showed it. She was out there, telling old girl all them tips, and this one over here she's from Flea Bottom, but she act like she don't speak, the common tongue, and he'll pay more for that. Like, I was like, okay, Ross, look at you. So, but then we get her all sad and little fingers threatening her. That was a strip threat. Obviously, it was like, bitch, if you don't knock off this crying and whining, you gonna die, or you gonna have to go, because at the end of the day, you need to make me some money.
That was Roz that was crying.
Because after Janice came in there and killed the baby, and then she was with old dude, and dude came out and was like, I didn't even touch her, and she's in there crying. So he had to go in there and tell that story about the one chick who started crying and was all sad.
Why did they have Roz crying?
Because she was just sad that the baby
she saw the babies getting murdered.
There was a legitimate one of them in there that had one of Robert's babies.
Well, that was the same. That was the thing.
Okay.
Remember, they walked. The gold cloaks had ran up in the brothel and was like, had pulled the old girl out and with the baby, and then he killed the baby. Okay. And she was standing there because at first she was just like, "Yo, this room, my little finger." He was like, "I don't care."
Okay, I missed that part at first.
Yeah. Podrick is Tyrion's squire now, and I love that Tyrion was not for the whole killing of babies, so totally fires Jaina Slint.
He got Janos up out of there. You got to go.
Yeah, he was like, nah, you betrayed the last hands to the king. I don't think I feel comfortable with you, being around. And Bronn gets the promotion.
Right, like, you just, I get it. You were loyal to the establishment, loyal to the Lannisters, but I mean, you can't just be killing babies.
Yeah. It was interesting though when he asked Bronn, he was like, if I asked you to kill a baby that was still breathing on like feeding on its mother, like, would you do it without question? He was like, without question? Nah. Ask you how much. Tyrion's face was just like, God damn.
I respect it. Look, it was like the shrug, like, I mean, I hear you. I respect it.
Pay me. Pay me my money. So the scene with Arya, Hot Pie, and Gendry was one of the cutest scenes of the show. There's not very many cute scenes in the show. But I did like that scene when Hot Pie was just talking about how two men with armor, it's a battle.
Mm-hmm.
And they said in Rose, I'm like, it's not a battle. Look at this. They had on armor. That was cute. It was like those little innocent moments that you rarely get in Game of Thrones, but that was one of those little innocent moments. What do you say?
I was saying message because phone was ringing.
Oh. I don't know why I have an alarm at 10 o'clock at night.
Pick me up.
Oh, it probably was picked up from work. You're right.
Oh, that's another cute moment right there. You know what I'm saying?
It's bedtime. So.
What else is left? Come on. Arya told Gendry that who she is, who she really is.
Yes, and he was just like, I should have been calling you my lady. And she's like, stop it.
That ain't me.
You know what? And that was cute. It was because he was like, he already knew she was a girl. Yeah, that was cute. That was funny. So actually, no, I'm not going to talk about it now because we're going to talk about it at the end of. We'll talk about it at the end. Theon meets Yara and fondles her, which was just nasty because she knew who he was and she let it happen.
So you just gonna let him play in the boobies in the box? This shit is the worst.
You know, I didn't realize how disgusted I was by that until I watched it for like the 5th time. And I was like, yeah, that's nasty. You could have told him to stop that. Could have smacked his hand, bit him or something. But I think that really just goes to how fucking nasty Theon is. Like, you don't even know this chick, and you just, like, mad, inappropriate, non-consensual contact. Like, who? You ain't even that cute. Like, you're not cute at all. Like, who? You just able to get away with this kind of shit. So, that made me just want to punch him in the face rewatching it. But
I mean, nobody thought nobody was cute back then, though.
I mean, John was cute.
Yeah, I was like, they knew who was cute and who wasn't.
The only reason why people get knocked down is because they was royalty.
No, I mean, I don't think Theon was that ugly. He wasn't ugly.
He
was.
Okay, yes, in that moment he was ugly.
So now you're doing charity work.
Basic.
Knock it off. You can name a dozen. You can name 10 people on that show that y'all think is looking better than Theon. Right now.
The Hound. Oh.
Oh, now you see. Now you're reaching. Now you're reaching. I'm gonna check you on that. Like, you doing the most?
It's because it's tall. Segment. But yeah, no, Theon ain't it. Let's see what else happened.
Stannis bust down Melisandre.
Yeah. You know what? I'm really like wondering, just because we get more of these whole red people who worship the light or whatever throughout the series. I'm wondering like if she was really seeing this shit and just misinterpreting it that bad. Like, was her?
Oh man, I completely had a flashback of the show when she took her necklace off.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That was a sad ass. That was one of the few moments where I felt bad for her though, because
I felt super bad for her. Super bad. Because it was like the end of an episode too. Like the episode was off after she laid in the bed. I was like, oh, I was sad as hell.
Yeah, because I felt like she was about to end it. Like, I think that was like, she was like, I'm fuck this shit. Because I've been just wrong after wrong after wrong.
You've been taking L after L. You've been saying all this stuff and you losing.
It just tripped me out because I feel like it was one of the moments like I looked away or I went to go do something else. I just came back and I was like, what is this? Like, what's going on right now?
Yeah, it threw me all the way off. It was that same moment that you talk about, but you know when like you look at like a broken leg, you turn away, but you keep looking back. I was like, wait, is she really? This isn't. Like I can't. It was bad. It was bad. But yeah, continue. I mean to cut that part off, but I literally just had a flashback right now of that moment. Like, I completely forgot. She was a granny.
Yeah, for real. So, Davos Seaworth is trying to. Okay, so Salladhor Sand, one of the few black people who's not a slave on the show. One of like 2 black people that's not slaves on the show. So, the other dude who tried to marry Dany and then slept with her friend.
The richest man in
And Qarth.
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 Yeah, it was like one of 2 that were not slaves. So He's the one I never knew what the fuck his name was before rewatching it like this week. So Salvador is saying, okay, and I think they made the comment that he was like one of the best smugglers from Marine. So he's from Marine. Useless fun fact. Yeah, black dude just randomly put places. But he was a bastard, clearly.
That's like you gotta have the tokens somewhere.
Yeah. Davison, his son, hella loyal. But you know what? Okay, on that note, he had 30 ships because they were like, yeah, he got 30 ships. That's gonna help us out. Just running around the map with 30 ships, like.
Yeah, where are y'all parking these when you done? Are y'all just constantly? No, I feel like they're probably. Oh my bad, you can go.
Go ahead.
But yeah, no, they're probably like sending them out like on different voyages.
It's like every time they talk about all of these ships, like they always be walking by the water, and you never see a ship. Pan to a water of like 2 or 3, maybe. You know what I'm saying? You're giving me nothing. You're making me think you're lying. I can see a ship too. Only ship I've seen so far was Theon's raggedy ass sea bitch.
That was the name of that ship.
trash ass ship.
Oh man. Yeah. So Cersei gets on Tyrion about Janus because like he's gonna be coming up here, firing my staff. Who did he throw in the dungeon? Remember oh no, never mind. That was Mace, the Maester. Disregard. I just remembered who it was because I'm like, wait a minute. Because when he sent him to the wall, I was like, wait a minute. I thought he got put in the dungeon, but it just dawned on me at this moment.
He's gonna get us up out of here.
Yo.
That boy up in the room by himself, dancing like Ellen and shit. Popping and locking, and then as soon as you get ready to open the door, let me do the old man walk. Like, man, feel.
Gosh, I was not sad when he died.
You went out, yeah. But there will be spoilers. Name of the podcast. All right. That's another one too. Because not only that, but when Tyrion hit him with the, I don't like his beard. Get that out of here.
Oh yeah, cut that shit off.
Super chopped. Looking at him looking terrible.
That was so rude. So
I don't have any sympathy for people that I don't like in the show. I'd be like, Carl, Walking Dead, another spoiler. Get him out of here, sir. Never liked him. Who else?
Carl?
We talked about that. Get Carl the fuck out of here. You know how I feel about disrespectful children. If it's a TV show, I'm not saying kill them in real life, but if it's a TV show, they gotta go.
Further, that broke poor Michonne's heart. Like,
we in the apocalypse and you ain't listening to what I say, bro. Oh, I just put you outside and let her gunshot off, son.
Get the flowers. Well, I mean, we see how Carol handles disrespectful children.
Right. You already know what time it is. That's how we doing it. I'm gonna tell you, like, did y'all see Bird Box yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hitting you like she told boy and girl. Hey, I'm gonna say this one time.
You get out that boat, I will hurt you.
Straight up. You listen to me or you a goner.
That was the realest parenting conversation ever. Like,
I loved it. In the apocalypse, that's how I would have went with me. Hey, listen, this is what we talking about. I'm gonna tell you one time and one time only. You hear me now and hear me good. You listen to me. I'm leaving you. I'm lifting up your your blindfold and I'm leaving you in the streets.
Damn.
Hey, you dead weight. I ain't got time for you. One of you ain't even mine. You feel me? You can go. I'm just saying.
Nah, she was disrespecting that little girl.
Oh my god.
All the memes I've seen of it when she was like, when boy was like, I'll do it. She's like, no, that's not what I said. I'll pick who does it.
I knew it was coming too. I'll do it. No, and then I was like, oh girl, she ain't even yours. Girl, you out of here.
That poor baby's face broke my heart. Like, and then because she's like, oh wait, she's gonna make me do it.
She knew it.
No, like that baby knew she was not loved. Like,
she knew she was about to get hit with the volunteer. Oh, she's about to call my name, huh? All right.
She's like, man, now the black man gone, don't nobody love me. That's like that.
That shit definitely was super tragic though. She looked so sad, and I was just like, "Come on, Sandra, at least make it seem like really to the wolves." Like, jeez.
And when they were in the woods, she was calling her, and he was just like, "She's not gonna come to you. She's scared of you." Like, even Boy knew that. You're a terrible mother.
And then Boy had to hit her with the real, like, yo, well, like you said when you said what you just said right now it's like, all right, now I gotta be sweet mama. Come here, girl. Like, yo, the fact that you named these children Boy and Girl.
I thought that was hilarious. I was like, wow.
It was mad funny, yo. Like, this is for real.
Like, she really was not trying to have kids.
I love it.
Actually, I seen something that said she called them that so that those monsters didn't have anything to call them. Cause like if you like pay attention, they evolved to the points like they were hearing them and they were like saying their names and then like using things to get them to take their blindfolds off.
I get you saying.
I think she just didn't name him because she didn't want to be attached to him in case they, took their blindfolds off.
I think both could be right. We off on the tangent. My bad.
Now that was our snippet of Bird Box. Like, the Bird Box.
And that was our Bird Box review. There you go.
And we spoiled it.
All right, y'all. Hey, listen, there'll be a timestamp on here. Do not listen to this past this point. These 2 moments, because we spoiled Bird Box. Hey, look, they live. Niggas ran up on the blind people, which I called that shit in the movie. I was like 20 minutes in. I was like, hey, what the fuck the blind people at? It's literally what I said in the movie. Like, the blind people and the people who like had eye injuries or something like that. Like, yeah, y'all should be fine. Yeah. And then lo and behold, these niggas is chilling. First off, I don't mean to stay on this. How the fuck is a random blind school for the blind in the forest somewhere? Like, that makes sense.
And how did they get to that house in the first place? Like,
right. It was a school. It was a school for the blind.
No. How did they get to the house where it was racist?
She was just literally running in the damn woods, and all of a sudden, right when the dude about to get there, you trip over some steps. Like, how a house just appear out of a school just appear out of nowhere? Like,
school, like the house where her and Tom were raising the kids. Like, how did they get there? Like, where the fuck was that at?
They did that GPS blindfold thing.
They didn't have a car anymore.
Oh, you right.
I love how Armani said that GPS blindfold thing. I'll be terrified. I'll be running over everything. Anytime I hit a curve, I'll be like, what was that?
And this is why, in the event of an apocalypse or some crazy Bird Box type shit, I'm going to go steal a Tesla. That is my first stop.
Oh, in the apocalypse. You stop in the apocalypse. You like, let me go to the Tesla dealership. That's what you're doing.
Yes, they have those cars have autopilot. They're self-driving.
You know, you just go to the Tesla dealership. You know what I'm gonna do for you? I'm gonna sing, "How do I?" No, what's wrong with you?
Hey, bro, you gonna be right. First, okay, so Teslas are self-driving. They're self-driving, and then 2.
I know what you're talking about, but you're charge your car at going to the Tesla dealership because there's gonna be mad people there. You're gonna be a fight. It's gonna be like one person to die, and they're gonna wake up like a fucking White Walker, and then it's over yet.
I don't think anyone else is thinking about going to the Tesla dealership but me. Well, now that I've said this, other people are gonna be like, you know what? That's a good idea. So,
Tesla is. That's what everybody will be like, nigga, I'm going to the Tesla dealership.
And then also their cabins are like self-contained. So in the event of like a hazardous outbreak or whatever, like the air is self-filtering inside the car. So if there's like some kind of bomb or gas or some shit outside, like you could just be inside that car and it filters out.
Elon was doing the most.
I'm saying, and those cars, they're not that even that expensive for all that. Like,
right. For all that they do, they actually are pretty cost effective. Like,
if I was at the lottery, I'm gonna buy the Series 3. I'm not buying a Bentley. I'm just gonna get a Tesla. It's only $44,000. That's where it starts, but depending on your battery life.
Yeah, I was like, where are you gonna charge your car after a while?
Talk to him. Where in the apocalypse you charging this vehicle? ma'am.
You see, did y'all watch Breaking Bad when they made that battery, that generator? Like, there you go. We're gonna have generators. We're gonna work it out.
Oh, okay.
It ain't like we getting gas in the apocalypse. I mean,
Yeah, I just think, do those cars come with plugs?
Are they solar powered? They're not solar powered.
I don't think we got there yet. I don't think we've.
Hopefully, we get solar powered cars before the apocalypse happens. Okay. Well, anyway, back to Game of Thrones. Plotting our zombie apocalypse survival. Okay. Oh, okay. So this episode ends with John following Craster into the woods and seeing him take that baby out there, and then he gets knocked the fuck out because he being nosy. And then, yeah. So episode 3, what is dead may never die, which are the house words of
the bitch ass nigga. He makes me sick, man. I told you, we talked about going back and rewatching the show, and the people that have me ready to skip their parts and have me angry. He is one of them. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of that, man.
No, totally understandable. So, Craster is telling the Night's Watch they need to get the fuck up out of his house because they out here doing too much and not mind their own business like he told them to. And then we find out that the Lord Commander knew about the whole babies being fed to White Walkers.
See, that would have been a good point in the show in the podcast to have one of your English accent. You knew.
He knew the babies were being given away.
Exactly how it sounds. You knew. These grumpkins and I don't even know how to. Like, yeah, you true.
So yeah, there's a price to pay for all this lavishness out here in these streets, and it's baby boys, evidently.
They ain't got no streets, yo. They ain't got no streets. Them real ads. Brienne smoked Sir Loras in a duel to be part of Renly's Kingsguard. That's what
okay. So
we got introduced to Brienne of Tarth.
Lady Brienne gets made a knight.
I like her. She's really
I love
tall.
her.
Like, she's really, really tall.
The fact that she's obviously she's tall in real life. So,
but you see it on the show, but you don't really realize that she's a solid 6'4".
Oh, is she?
I thought she was 6'3", 6'4".
She probably is. Now, and she also modeled. So, can you imagine her in heels?
Right, she is pretty. She is pretty. Like when you how y'all tried to give Gilly her just due outside of it, and I still think she looked like a chipmunk face. Nah, like Brienne is actually pretty.
But I don't think Brienne doesn't look like she doesn't look frumpy on the show. I think she's still pretty on the show.
To me, she looks like a well-fed, the one that played the head monk on Doctor Strange.
Oh, you know what? I never really noticed that. They do look like they could be related.
Oh shit, touche. I had to go back and think.
The head monk. What was her proper name?
She plays in all those English period pieces.
Yes, she plays in everything. And looks terrible with long hair. Like she's like that one person who should never grow her hair long. She doesn't. I do not like her with long hair.
You need her with the short comb over.
Yes, always. Because she had long hair in that movie.
We need to talk about Kevin.
Yes, and I was just like, I'm not here for this.
Wait, that was the name of the movie?
Yes, the movie. It's on. I think it's still on Netflix.
Name of the movie.
Ezra Miller.
We need to talk about Kevin. You should watch. You should check it out. It's actually a good movie that has some twists to it. It's one of them sleepers on Netflix. I don't even think people really even talked about that much. We need to have a sleeper section of this podcast that involves movies or Netflix shows that people should watch.
You want to take part of the Joe Budden podcast mantra? Sleepers? You got sleepers?
Yeah, there we go. Take that.
You got sleepers?
We can call it something else. But that was a good movie. So.
Okay. I will add that to my queue. Slide that in my queue. We got introduced to Renly and Sir Loras and Brienne and Marge and Miss Tyrell.
Yes, we get the Tyrells. Renly Yeah, you know what? This is one of those moments where I would start thinking about like, what kind of king would Renly have been? Would he like have low key been a? I mean, would he have been a good king? Would he have been nice?
I mean,
Or should Stannis just have been king? Like, we should just list Stannis.
he seemed like the king that would have had, a good no, I'm not gonna say follow, you know what I'm saying, like a good disposition towards things. Like he seemed like the level-headed, he's gonna do the right thing type king. He didn't seem like Stannis, like his punk ass brother.
Yeah, Stannis was just.
I feel like out of everybody that was trying to get the throne at this point, though, I would have wanted Stannis to be king. I feel like he was most qualified, and yeah, he had little, but like he was actually that king that would have been an actual king. Like, okay, no, I'm gonna do this. He had strategy, but he was also the one that's like, you're not gonna tell me what I need to do.
And he was trying to be loyal to his wife. He was like, nah, I'm married. And Melisandre was just like, so.
And his wife was like, so.
What you mean he was trying to be faithful to his wife? He knocked her down the episode before. What are you talking about?
No, but I'm saying that when she first tried to, when she first unblooded her stuff, he was like, I'm married. No.
Nigga, really?
She took advantage of him.
As soon as he took his shit off, she was like, I'm married. And 13 seconds later, what you talking about? He didn't waste no time not getting knocked down.
I mean, no, because she was just like, well, all she's done is given you like miscarriages and stillborns, then I'll give you a son. And
y'all need to get off. Stannis was trash too. Renly was trash too because he was in there. I'm gonna say it on this podcast. It's a joke that we like to say, me and my homies, about gay dudes that be trying to get it in. Renly was in there getting that boy pussy. Yeah, I said it. Get out of here. He was trash. Even though he was cool, he was trash too. He was knocking Loras down. That's why shout out to Marge, because Marge is in the joint like, look, I'm gonna be your queen. We're gonna have to shut it down. We're gonna have to shut down these haters that trying to dispute your throne your claim to the throne. So you need to go ahead and put a baby in me. If I need to get my brother up in here, you know what I'm saying? Don't act like I ain't know. I know what's my brother got to come up and get you started. What's up?
So look on his face, and he was like, "Wait, what you mean?" She's like, "Yeah, I know." Like,
what you mean? What I mean? I know what's up.
Okay. I don't mind.
It's cool. Whatever you got to do to get ready, I got you.
She was focused on the prize, like eye on the prize.
She was a real one out the gate. She was like, I ain't trying to be a queen.
The queen.
The queen. What you mean?
Yeah, the Tyrells were the smartest family to me in all of Game of Thrones so far.
Oh.
They had their eyes on the prize the whole time. They knew what time it was. They was like, look, we got this bread. Our house gonna be tight, and we trying to rule. Okay, everybody else is talking about. We out in these roads trying to get right.
Yaren tells Arya how he became a member of the Night's Watch, and the Gold Cloaks come back looking for Gendry again. So
shout out to Arya with the right mind. You know what I'm saying? Thinking on the fly.
Yeah, totally like saved
the ball hit at home. Pulled that needle and murked the little kid. And she was like, "Yeah, you killed Gendry right there, B. Pay attention."
She let Jaqen Hagar out of the cage.
She saved a man's life.
She saved a man's life. Yes. So not only she out here taking lives, she's saving lives.
And isn't that also when she gets her coin?
No, this is not. She gets the coin. She gets it after they're taken to the Riverlands.
You're taking them to Harrenhal.
Yeah, when they get taken to Harrenhal. So
Harrenhal worst. Not a lot. Like when you go back and look at the show, Harrenhal was awful.
Well, and wasn't Harrenhal the one that was like burnt down by the dragons?
Mm-hmm. Still on fire too. That was the craziest part. That shit was still lit up.
That was where the Boltons were at, right?
No. I thought the elder Bolton was with Rob. Pop Bolton.
Yeah, he was with Rob. I don't know where the fuck the Boltons lived at. They lived somewhere else. They lived at Moat Cailin, didn't they?
Yes, that's exactly where he lived at.
Which was just past Winterfell.
Oh, okay.
Or before getting to Winterfell if you're heading north, I guess. because you have to go through Moat Cailin to get there. So, now we're gonna talk about this preview or not?
Is that the end of the 3 episodes?
Yeah, it was in episode 2.
Oh,
it wasn't much. That episode was just like, yeah.
Let me see if I got in my notes anything else important happened. No. Yeah, begging for acceptance for the fam. Cersei manipulating Sansa at dinner. Shay is Sansa's new handmaiden.
Oh yeah, well there's that.
Or the Caravan and Loras. Cersei snaps at Tyrion about Marcella. Oh yeah. All right. So there is one kind of two. There's two actually. There's two ones. Tyrion hit the setup for lying to Littlefinger and Varys and Pycelle. Tried to set up. It was a full setup right there.
Yeah, when he told them all, where did he say where he was gonna marry Marcella off to?
Yeah, he told Littlefinger he was gonna marry Marcella to the crazy auntie's freaking titty sucking son.
Oh yeah, Aaron.
Aaron.
Robin Aaron.
Yeah, and then told Varys he was gonna marry her to Theon. I think it was Theon. And then he told whatchamacallit. I forgot who he said he's gonna marry whatchamacallit to though.
It was like Theon, Robin, and
I can't remember the last one who was gonna marry him to. But so obviously he went and told his little Pycelle told Cersei.
Oh, Loras was the other one.
Yeah. He told him that it got back to Cersei so he knew exactly what was set that boy up.
Oh,
and then yeah, that was in this episode.
First of all, that showed how smart Tyrion was. Like that was such a good ass idea.
Right. Because just like you said earlier, he knew he was trying to live first and foremost. Like he knew the last couple hands of the king was getting betrayed and murdered. So he didn't want no part of that. He was like, let me get up out of here, and I'm Gucci.
And that's when he throws him in the dungeon.
But and then when Theon betrayed Rob and recommitted to the Greyjoys.
Yeah, that was a tough situation to be. I don't understand why his dad, why are you so pissed? Like when Theon made the comment, like you sent me away, you gave me to him.
Yep.
What did he expect Theon to do? Put up a fight for 18 years? Like, the boy had to survive. Like, he was a child when he was taken away. So, god damn. Like.
And this, again, is why I say with Theon wasn't that bad.
All right.
Like, he was trying his best.
This is the moment when he became bad. This is when he started going downhill. This moment right here, to me. Because before, even when he was with the shit, like he was whatever. This is the moment that he started going downhill.
True, because he had a choice. He should have, when his dad made the comment about who said we were going against the Lannisters, he should have been like, okay, well, on that note, let me take my ass back to my boat and take my back to Rob and let Rob know that ain't gonna work. And by the way, we got a whole nother set of problems.
He was about to send a Raven. He was about to be like, hey, Raven, Rob, let me warn you, because let me burn that and recommit to my father and Yara, and then get played when I recommit. Because just like we said, you got to take the sea bitch out to sea. They let you recommit. They still ain't rock with your ass like that.
No. And you know what? And then when he said that Yara took over her oldest brother's ship when he died, like she was mad young. Like she running out here running ships at like the age of like 5, 6.
Yep. Again, still throwing me off these age discrepancies because I keep forgetting everybody is teenagers at this point. Got grown ass people in the actual show looking super grown, who we know was in their late 20s and 30s. They supposed to be teenagers.
Yeah,
throwing me off.
Yeah, her running around all willy nilly.
All right. Let's get to what you want to talk about. 3-second preview.
So this 3-second preview. Which I meant to watch back because I was trying to see if there was anyone else standing in the background of that preview or who else was around. Because when you think about it, if Jon and Dany get to Winterfell, they have with them Tyrion, the Hound, Gendry, what's left of the Brotherhood without banners, and Arya is there.
Don't forget about your boo.
And Tormund. No, Tormund's at the wall.
No, Tormund is at Eastwatch.
Oh, Tormund is at Eastwatch.
Yeah. He better make it off that wall. I'm going to be so sad.
I remember you was over here all emotional, like, I know they burnt down the wall. My baby better have made it. He looked like he was falling down.
I don't understand how he would survive that. Tormund dies, right. I'm getting that t-shirt made before April.
Hold on. First and foremost, you know he ain't dead. Because as much as this nigga been through in the show, that's how he gonna go down, just falling on some blocks of ice? Like, nah. I need to see your skin get burnt up from the blue fire.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you ain't going out like a punk when you was literally 6 homies deep on top of a rock. And survived. Like, knock it off.
Yo, is this blue fire about to have the same White Walker like ability to bring them back to life? Like, if you get killed by the blue fire, if he can bring you back, if he could raise you up as a white, basically.
I feel like that would get rid of the bones too. I feel like there wouldn't be nothing left. I mean, they have skeletons on the crew, but you'd have to make it to be a skeleton.
I'm not ready. There's certain parts of the show that it's not much, but I'm not ready for like some of our favorite characters to die because we know what's happening. Like, just being real. We know we're going to lose at least 2 or 3 people that we all care about in the show. I'm not ready to see how this fight goes down with the dragons now, because obviously it's going to be the Night King and his crew of flunkies, and they all tough too. So, like, I don't know, man. I'm with y'all. I would much rather not see some people get hit with the blue flame and then get the Undertaker resurrection and get your ass right back up, or while you still on fire type shit. Like,
Can you imagine Arya as a White Walker?
Yo, listen.
Yo, her being a White Walker that could change faces.
She even still possess that ability though. Yeah, she'd have to be like promoted like immediately, like as in like 4th in command White Walker if she's doing all that shit. Like that'd be bananas.
You're right, because even when you go back and look at, say, something like on some resurrection shit like The Walking Dead, it hasn't been too many characters they resurrected as zombies that we really, really cared about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, the show that kind of freaking everybody. Like, I hated to see Sasha when she flew out that coffin. That was kind of sad. Even though you knew it was coming, like, definitely knew Sasha was about to die because she killed herself. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you still got to see it. I'm trying to see who else. I forgot his name in the first season, like the second season. Carl's best friend. What was his name? Punisher dude.
Oh, Shane.
When Shane came back, it was like, that was a shocker. That's how we kind of knew. Like, wait a minute, something.
I'm still waiting for Lori ass to pop up somewhere on the sidelines. But now that Rick's gone, it's like that'd be pointless anyway. So.
Right. So you know what I'm saying. So we haven't had that in The Walking Dead yet. I mean, in the Game of Thrones yet. So I would hate for in season 8 somebody to die and now they coming back murking people. Like, man, keep the same energy, Game of Thrones. Y'all ain't did this shit the whole entire series. And you gonna do it now? Like, nah, don't do it now.
We're going out with a bang, though.
I mean,
okay. So on that note with the bang, then, what if everyone that's at Eastwatch gets turned? Like, because you.
Well, it just seems like they were just trying to get through the wall, so it didn't seem like they were literally flaming the wall down to kill everybody. You know what I'm saying? They were just like, nah, we're just trying to get through, partner. You know, pardon me.
Folks ain't making it too far. Like, you're not getting too far. And I got to look at a map now and see where Eastwatch is comparatively to everything else. Because I know it's further south of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
But what is like...
I got a quick hot take on that little preview we talking about. So, did anybody else in that little 3-second preview see like Sansa with the slight eye roll, like she ain't want to give up Winterfell?
So that's my thing. Like when she says that, I'm wondering if she's talking about Winterfell is yours, my grace, in that, you know, we're willing to bid, because you would have to imagine he sent a raven by now telling her what's going on. So it's not going to roll up there unannounced and unbeknownst to everyone that they're coming. So Sansa's had to have had at least a day or two to process like, oh fuck, here we this is what we doing. But actually no, she did, because in one of the previous episodes he had wrote her and told her about, Daenerys or whatever, and I think she had made a comment about the Northerners going to be upset about them bending a knee to
a Southern queen.
Yeah. So she knows it's coming, but yeah. But it's like, why? As long as we get to keep Winterfell, I'm hoping that context of that conversation was Winterfell is yours, as in like we are now one of your banners, like we support you type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Not like you're moving into my bedroom. Like you can come visit, but you got to go home. Like,
yeah, the disrespect. They were just like, all right, clear out your mom and dad's room, Sansa.
knock out all these statues in the crypt. Like, get them statues out.
We putting dragon heads down there now.
Yeah, a new sigil.
Yeah, I would love to. I can't wait to see that scene, to see how Sansa reacts to Jon and Dany's communication, because how they communicate around other people, and other people has been looking at it like, you love her, don't you? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So he's gonna show he's never hid his affection on characters that he's like in the show. So she's gonna see that, and Arya is gonna see that, because obviously Arya's in Winterfell too. It's gonna be like, who this Harpo? Who this woman Harpo?
I think Sansa might be okay with it, and that she's like, okay, well, good, Jon's not going to stay here, because as much as she loves her brother, I don't think she really wants to share Winterfell as much. Like, I think she'd be content if she was made Wardeness of the North. Like, I think that's probably the position she wants, and at this point, she probably feels like she's fucking earned it, which truthfully she has.
Yeah.
So she could be Wardeness of the North, and Jon could just take his ass on with Daenerys and live happily ever after. That's probably what's like in the back of her mind. Like, all right, you not staying here, so you going? Bye. It was nice, having you while we had you.
You can come visit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just here for the reunions, bro. This is some reunions that we ain't had since season 1 and 2. Like, obviously, Jon saw Sansa last season, but it's just like
when he sees Arya,
I ain't seen Arya. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes. Yeah.
And they ain't never met. Like, these reunions that we haven't seen that we want to see for the longest.
And then, can we just talk about the conversation around that table when Bran tells everybody about Jon's birth? Like, is he going to do that in front of everyone, or is it just going to be like him, Jon, and Dany, or is it going to be him and Jon one-on-one, or is it going to be him, Jon, and what's his face? I feel would be there in the room. Jon's best friend,
Sam.
Because they're still in Winterfell, right?
Yeah, Sam's still at Winterfell, so I feel like Sam would be present.
I'm saying, damn it, Bran's still in Winterfell.
Yeah, Bran, Arya, and Sansa are all together. So, because he was the show literally. I mean, the shit ended with Bran and Sam having that whole conversation. And Sam revealing, like, no, he's not a bastard there either. Like, that wedding was annulled. So Sam holds, the true truth that about that too. So it's just like, yeah, once they tell Jon this.
Once they tell Jon that you fresh off the boat knocking down your aunt, cuz,
you know nothing, Jon Snow.
and you are the rightful heirs to the throne.
Yeah. Y'all figure this out amongst yourselves.
Yeah, that's the type of thing I feel like Bran would drop like at dinner, like at the table. He'd be like, so just so you know, I know what you did, but that's your aunt. So
just like that too. You're a Targaryen, so you guys got to figure out who's gonna rule, because aunts and nephews, y'all got to figure the shit out.
You know what's gonna would really suck is if they agree to this whole, okay, Sansa can be Wardeness of the North, we're gonna head to King's Landing because that's the end game or whatever, but then the White Walkers destroy Winterfell. I feel like Winterfell ain't gonna make it.
No, that's spot number 1. I'm against you. I think they ain't even, you talking about King's Landing as an end game. I honestly think, I think this show gonna end. I think that they gonna fight in Winterfell. They gonna win. It's gonna have a lot of casualties, and then it's just gonna be a fucking agreement because it's gonna be like one dragon left. So another dragon gonna die, and so it's gonna be Dany with one dragon, whoever it's gonna be. Because who died? Which one died? Viserys died.
Yeah.
Viserion. So all right, so I'd be breaking. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the one that died. The one that was named after her. Yeah, that one.
So I think it'll be one left. So that's still one dragon enough to run up a King's Landing and be like, "Hey, nigga, fuck out of here." You know what I'm saying? We can do this the easy way. Oh, we can do this the hard way. The choice is yours. So, and I think it's gonna be a little mini fight, and then they just gonna give up, and they're gonna be on some. I think it's gonna be a whack ending. To be perfectly honest, I think they are going to explain everything that we need to have for the show to be ending, and us not to be super mad, and then them leading some bullshit up to these prequel shows that they're gonna have. But I think the actual ending of the show is gonna be whack. It's gonna be like either them leaving or Cersei dying, and then it's just like the remains of King's Landing after, and it's only gonna be like 100 people, and it's like show's over, or is it like type of shit like that? Like I don't see them. Right, I don't see them ending the show in a way that we're gonna be okay with, because I feel like out of those 6 episodes, I feel like they'll finish the show in like the end of season 5 or the beginning of season 6, and then they'll take the episode 6, and they'll take the last like half of the episodes, and just like you said, like the start of the rebuild, and who's happily ever after, who died, who's mourning, and then that's it.
That.
Like, where else can you go at this point? People gonna die. You know what I'm saying? Somebody dying. It's 3 factions right now. It's King's Landing, it's the Night King, and then it's literally everybody else trying to survive. And somebody dying. Two of the factions is a wrap. I'm a fan of villains. To be perfectly honest, if the Night King won, I'd be like, I don't know. I'm weird. I love villains in movies and shows. So if the Night King really actually won, and like everybody was dead, and it would just end it like that, I won't be mad.
So looking at this map, Eastwatch by the Sea is literally just on the far eastern end of the wall.
Looking at the map, you got a map?
Yeah, I found a map. Because I needed to know where this was at, because I'm like, okay, if they're coming through Eastwatch by the Sea, then like where is that in relationship to Winterfell, or like what's the first like area that they're gonna come up on land on? But that's literally just the end of the wall. So I mean, they're still coming through the same damn road. Like they.
Well, all right. So where's the Eastwatch? So where's the map where they come through Eastwatch related to Winterfell, and where else they're traveling?
They're gonna hit Last Hearth first. They're gonna make their way down the King's Road. Winterfell, I mean, is the fucking first, is the next main thing. I mean, you're coming through the north. It's just like they're gonna hit Winterfell.
So that's
if they stick to the King's Road, like if they just take the straight road down, it comes through Winterfell. So they're gonna take out some of them northern families, turn them into White Walkers.
And at this point now that we've said all this, I feel like we're gonna get Lyanna Mormont as a White Walker.
Hey man, that hurt my heart, because she a real one with her little. How old is she?
9.
5.
Exactly. Like, I'm trying to go on the show of her looking like she's 13 or 14, but she's really 7. Like, talking about King of the North. Like, what? Girl, if you don't go clean your room, talking about King of the North.
But the King of the North, Jon Snow.
Talking about King of the North. You don't go straighten up your bed. You don't go make your bed. What's wrong with you?
I hope not, because I feel like she's gonna be the last of the Mormonts. It's her and Jorah is what's left. And where is Jorah? He with them? Was he with them?
Yes, Jorah, I think so.
If you think Daenerys ain't about to have a moment where she about to die, and this fucking googly-eyed ass nigga ain't about to sacrifice himself for her, I show him.
Yeah,
Jorah gonna be episode 3. He out of there.
He might be gone episode like 1. Like
it's gonna be sad, because I rock with Jorah. He is super loyal to the core after he realized, he ain't gonna kill her ass or set up to kill. But he's super loyal. So it's gonna be sad. We gotta have a. All right, so we gotta have the top 5. What did I say earlier? The 2 lists we gotta make. You said the sleepers on Netflix. I said we gotta do a jingle, and I can't remember the other list I had. I can't remember the other list I had.
Wasn't it a death list? Like who's dying?
Is it who's we want to die or
Nah, who
No,
we think who we think is gonna die?
Yes,
Like-
all right. So who we think is gonna die is one, but in that same death token, we gotta have a top 5 on who is going to be the saddest death on the show. If we, you know what I'm saying, if we had to pick a top 5 of like number 1, if like I want to say it was Daenerys.
if Arya dies?
I think Arya is my number 1. If Arya dies, yo, I'm gonna be Cuba Gooding Jr. in the living room on Boys in the Hood. I'm gonna be tearing up and swinging in the air. Little Mama goes. She might be my number 1.
Where are you at on the show? Okay. We wouldn't spoil it too much.
We gotta have who we think gonna die and who's gonna be like who's gonna have the saddest. If there's a top 5 of who we don't want to die, like if they died, how sad would we be from worst to first.
Arya is definitely like for me like the sad one.
Why is everybody? What's up with Arya that we all love her to the point where like she's slowly made her slide up to the favorite character on the show. Like this show ain't got Daenerys and Jon Snow and
because Arya went out here and she was she was loyal to her family from the gate, and she was like, they ain't going to like she ain't let nobody break her down. Like she just was like she was fucking a tough little cookie from the gate. Like from the beginning, she wanted to learn how to wield the sword. She stood up for herself the whole way through. Like there was no wavering there. There was no doubt she was getting the fuck home. Like that was her goal, and she made it happen. Or she was gonna kill everybody who got in her way, and she did.
She really went from a tough cookie to an absolute savage.
Exactly.
She will murder anybody now.
She gonna fuck around and murder Danny.
Could you imagine? Like
My dragons now, bitch.
Hey, listen. If she did some shit like that, bro, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna have nothing. We know there's gonna be some shockers coming in season 6, especially they talking about it's gonna be a movie format. I'm not gonna have nothing to say. I'm gonna be on the show with the flabbergasted face, like, well, you gonna kill Danny? Danny done been through some shit too, and you gonna kill her with a needle? Huh?
it'd be that thing like you wouldn't find out 4 episodes later. Like it'd be like the end when they win, and then she's gonna take a face off.
She gonna have John's face on, like you definitely not John's body type. But you gonna have John's face on and get smoked. Arya, 4'11" over here killing.
Yeah, I'm just ready for. You know what? I want to know if Arya knows how Rickon died yet.
At that, she can't add Maid to her list. At that point, Ramsay's dead.
I mean, no, she can't add Ramsay, but I'm gonna have some word. Like, I mean, I feel something. I was in everybody dead, but.
Hey, top 5 savage death in the show, 100,000%.
Oh my god, you just.
I replayed when that happened in the show. I rewound it like twice because her face just. She was staring it down when the dogs was eating them alive, and Sansa. I was like, "Yo, you have arrived, young grasshopper."
Yeah, and like when she turned away and then turned back.
Yo, no flinch, no blinking, eyes staring. He's screaming, dogs going off, and she didn't flinch.
On that note, do we think Sansa's pregnant?
I hope not.
Ramsay?
Yeah.
From the damn awful ass rape? Oh, that would be terrible.
It would, but I could see that happening.
She has been wearing big coats since the end of season 6. I mean, winter is here at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, and there was that whole, those theories were flying around when he made those comments about, I'll always be with you or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
Nah, I feel like that would just lead to a hard scene. Like I could see Sansa pulling one of them scenes where like she just start punching herself in the stomach. Like she like I mean, I didn't mean it in a funny way, but
Oh,
You start drinking mango poppy.
No, like I could like it'd be one of them scenes where like she just like standing there like just dead stare, like hitting herself in the stomach. Like no.
You could see a swan dive off the top of the onto the bottom of the stairs type shit. Yeah, I'm with you because she was. I'm telling you, we talked about the come ups in the show. Like Sansa's come up is crazy, bro. Like she has been through it since episode 1.
I think she gonna be pregnant. I think Danny gonna be pregnant.
This is man.
It's gonna happen.
They're gonna find that out that Danny's pregnant when they find out that John's her nephew.
Right. Let's talk about the realness of the show then. Danny's pregnant by her nephew. She's pregnant by a rape. Like what is Game of Thrones? What are y'all doing to us? Why? Why are y'all doing this like this?
If Danny is pregnant, I feel like John would die. Like I don't think John's
pull out game weak as hell, man. You gonna beat for the first time to get her pregnant on the first go?
I'm sure that's what happened. Like that's.
Man, I'll tell you what. First go. That's awful.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know how long that boat ride was.
Can you imagine back in the day? Like, mind you now, just back in the day, like everybody going in naked head. Ain't no condoms nowhere. That's my mind. Don't judge me. That's how I think. I'm just like, damn, bro. They had all of these crazy ass, like you could die in 3 days on a half a fever. Y'all there just getting uncles and nephews and cousins and shit. Like,
That's you know what the fucked up thought about that is that's even more reason why they slept with family because they know where they've been.
See, I was just on some funny shit. You really deep diving into the worst of the worst. So what? I know where you been, son. No, I know you've been in because we can't say street. I know you've been out on these roads, taking care of yourself. You want to have a baby? What? We know what incest is, man. We know the damn the theory on incest. Why are these babies coming out looking regular as shit?
Yeah, I was saying that too.
Where's the Goonie babies at? I need the Goonies babies. Y'all out here just having ass kids with blonde hair and shit looking normal as hell.
You know what? That is true because like even like a decade or so ago, they were at the very least keeping it separated by like a couple generations where it was like cousins and not direct blood lineage. Cersei and Jaime had 3 fucking healthy ass kids. Like one of them
regular ass.
Joffrey's like crazy, but I mean he should have been like deformed and crazy. I would think. Regular
ass ain't talking out the side of his mouth. Eyes ain't crooked as shit. Got these ass children who fully functioning, and your ass, man. You know what? Again, the more and more you watch the show, the more and more you realize, like, might not be too realistic.
Of course not. I mean,
the best show ever.
That's where it became unrealistic.
Yeah.
Joffrey should have been one of the characters from The Hills Have Eyes.
Right. Tyrion came out as a damn imp from a normal mom, but y'all fucking brothers and sisters, and y'all got regular ass 5'3" babies and shit ruling the kingdom. Like, man, something ain't right.
So now that do we think that HBO is gonna put out any more trailers before the show starts?
100%.
Are you watching those?
There's gonna I'm not watching the. Listen, that 3-second trailer only got me because I forgot what I was watching and it came on with it, so it was just like, y'all played me. Because I feel like whether it's like a Super Bowl trailer or it's gonna be some like Super Bowl late February, early March, like actual minute-long season preview that ain't gonna tell you shit, but it's gonna tell you shit. You know what I'm saying?
On that note, on next episode, we will be discussing season 2, episodes 4, 5, and 6. Mental health is important. There's a lot of things going on in this. You know what? Actually, conversation that needs to just kind of be had at the end of this podcast. There's a lot of shit going on right now on social media with this whole R. Kelly thing, and people need to be careful about the shit that they're posting. You know, people being triggered by this stuff is like real, and you just need to be careful about what you say where, because you don't know who is seeing it and could be triggered by these things and these comments. So definitely protect your like mental health right now, and you got to take care of yourself and be good to each other, because there's a lot of shitty people in the world. So take care of yourselves and be good to each other. Until next time.